ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಹಲೋ ಹಲೋ ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ
ಲೈವ್ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಈಗ. ನೀವು ಶುರು
ಇನ್ನ ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಲೈವ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಲೈವ್ ಹೊರಟೋಗಿದೆ.
ಸರಿ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಅಭ್ರಮಂ ಭಂಗರಹಿತಂ ಅಜರಂ ವಿಮಲಂ ಸದಾ ಆನಂದತೀರ್ಥಮತಲಂ ಭಜೇತಾಪತ್ರಯಾಪಹಂ ಮಿಥ್ಯಾ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತ ದುಧ್ವಾಂತ ವಿಧ್ವಂಸನ ವಿಚಕ್ಷಣ ಜಯತೀರ್ಥಾಖ್ಯತ ನಿರ್ಭಾಸತಾಂ ನೋ ಹೃದಂಬರೆ ಅರ್ಥಿಕಲ್ಪೋಯಂ ಪ್ರತ್ಯತ್ತಿ ಗಜಕೇಸರಿ ವ್ಯಾಸತೀರ್ಥ ಉರ್ಭೂಯಾತ್ ಅಸ್ಮದಿಷ್ಟಾತ ಸಿದ್ಧಯೇ ತಪೋ ವಿದ್ಯಾ ವಿರಕ್ತ್ಯಾದಿ ಸದ್ಗುಣೌಕಾಕರಾನಹಂ ವಾದಿರಾಜಗುರೂನ್ ವಂದೇ ಹೈಗ್ರೀವದಾಶ್ರಯಾನ್ ಪೂಜ್ಯಾಯ ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರಾಯ ಸಿದ್ಧರ್ಮರತಾಯ ಚ ಭಜತಾಂ ಕಲ್ಪವೃಕ್ಷಾಯ ನಮತಾಂ ಕಾಮಧೇನವೇ ದುರ್ವಾದಿಧ್ವಾಂತರವಯೇ ವೈಷ್ಣವೇಂದೀವರೇಂದವೇ ಶ್ರೀ ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ ಗುರವೇ ನಮೋ ಅತ್ಯಂತಯಾಳವೇ ಆಪಾದಮೌಳಿ ಪರ್ಯಂತಂ ಗುರೂಣಾಂ ಆಕ್ತಿಂ ಸ್ಮರೇತ್ ತೇನ ವಿಘ್ನಾಃ ಪ್ರಣಶ್ಯಂತಿ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಂ ಸಮನೋರಥಾಃ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಮೈ ಸಾಷ್ಟಾಂಗ ದಂಡ ಪ್ರಣಾಮಾಸ್ ಟು ಶ್ರೀ ವ್ಯಾಸರಾಜ ಮಠ ಪೀಠಾಧಿಪತಿಗಳು ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಶ್ರೀ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶೇಷತೀರ್ಥ ಶ್ರೀಪಾದಂಗಳವರು. ಅಂಡ್ ಮೈ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಟು ಚಂದ್ರಿಕಾ ಗುರುಕುಲ ಟೀಮ್, ಶ್ರೀ ವಿಠೋಬಾಚಾರ್, ಶ್ರೀ ಪ್ರವೀಣ್, ಶ್ರೀ ಹರೀಶ್ ರಾವ್, ಶ್ರೀ ಮನೋಜ್ and others. And Sankranti is over, but Sankranti Subhashayas for all the listeners. Last time we saw how Arjuna's comments were there and how Sri Krishna started responding, and it was not even apparently wise remarks that Arjuna made. Why they were not wise remarks? So we discussed that. And as you all know, Arjuna's problem, the mental depression, it was labeled as Kashmala. So what is the root cause? Excessive bandhu priti, to the extent of not realizing what is the sacred duty of Arjuna. So which is more important? The sacred duty is a lot more important than bandhu priti. So that realization was not there. So the immediate outcome was avoidance from the right action and missing the real aim, the real goal itself. So what is Arjuna's goal? Is it just an instruction telling him? So what was the expectation of Arjuna? So what was he expecting from Krishna? Is it just an instruction telling him what to do? This can be done even without removing the root cause. For example, just without getting the right knowledge, Krishna can just say, okay, just Krishna tell me what to do. That's all Arjuna is expecting. Or is Arjuna's expectation to have the right knowledge which will make him do the right action? So is knowledge-filled action is he looking for, or just a general instruction that Arjuna looking for? So Arjuna was not even sure which of these two options that he should go for. So he completely surrendered to Lord Sri Krishna and asked him, I do not know the root of my depression mood, and I do not know what is making me go through this. So tell me for sure the right thing to do. Nischitam me bruhi. So just tell me what's the thing to do. So now Sri Krishna has the following options. So he can just tell Arjuna, just do not ask any questions. I am telling you the right thing to do is to fight. So just you have to fight the war. And so pick up your Gandiva and fight. This is like a military command, not to question why, but to do and die. So type of thing. So that's one option. Or address the root cause and convince Arjuna about the course of action he has to take and make Arjuna do it willingly. So then the third, the full thing, the full blown thing is Sri Krishna has to do multiple tasks. Some of the main ones are like act like a psychiatrist and remove all the depression mood of Arjuna by going to the root of the problem. Then act like a spiritual instructor and give needed spiritual instruction, proper jnana, and clear all the doubts of Arjuna. And then third one is act like a friend and give soothing encouragement. And then next another action is that he act like a supermaster and show his Vishwarupa almighty capabilities. That's another one. Or act like a divine agent, instructing, instigating from inside, telling Arjuna, okay, you have to fight. Instigate from inside and just make him fight. So all this, and I'm not pretending that this is an exhaustive list, but surely just some main points. And it is very likely that people may find some more roles that Sri Krishna uh, played there. So, as most of us know, the root cause of Arjuna's depression is misguided and excessive love. Love for the loved ones, loving them is very natural. Loving the loved ones is very natural. Nothing wrong in there. But note, if those loved ones are prepared to fight against Arjuna for a wrong cause, would it not automatically imply that, in fact, mandate Arjuna to take up the arms against the same ones for a right cause? If they are prepared to fight against Arjuna for a wrong cause, Arjuna, for establishing dharma, he has to fight them. So, if at all anything, they must think and hesitate. Hey, why are we fighting the righteous Pandavas for a wrong cause? Do we really have any kind of indebtedness to Duryodhana? So, ಉಪ್ಪು ತಿಂದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಉಪ್ಪು ತಿಂದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So he says that like, no, okay, we ate the salt of Duryodhana, so we have to fight. Duryodhana, after all, what he did, the kingdom truly belonged to Pandavas, and Duryodhana practically stole the kingdom and everything that the Pandavas had in an unrighteous fashion. So it first of all never even belonged to Duryodhana. So strictly speaking, Bhishma, Drona, they do not have any indebtedness to Duryodhana. And second thing is dharma. Dharma is protecting dharma is the utmost duty. So they should have thought about that. So the despicable, despondent despair that took possession of Arjuna stemmed from his excessive attachment, as we noted, but that is on account of what? Sri Krishna proceeds in a systematic manner. So the very first is, okay, what is the root cause of Arjuna's sadness? Where is it coming from? Is it about the souls of Bhishma and Drona et al., that the souls are going to be destroyed in the war? Is that the fear? Or is it about their bodies, that the bodies of Bhishma and Drona are going to be destroyed in the war? Is that the cause? Or is it because, okay, the souls and the bodies are fine, okay, I understand that, but is it because of the death process, which is nothing but severance of the soul from the body, that results in Arjuna not seeing that body soul combination, that togetherness, that the resultant abhimana or attachment is what is making him? So which one of this is the root cause? So okay, Krishna goes and removes one by one. The first thing, okay, the souls, the existence of the souls. So they there Krishna says, okay, souls are eternal. Nothing is going to happen to the souls. That's conveyed from in the verse number 12. He says, Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadhipaha nachevana bhavishyamha sarve vayamata param. When Krishna said that, he is talking about the eternality of the soul. It's the beginninglessness and the endlessness. The first half, he says, there has never been a time in the past that Krishna gives himself as an example. He says, Natyevaham jata nasam. So I didn't exist, never happened. That means I existed at all times. And same way, you existed at all times. And all these people, rulers, the followers, the soldiers, all of these people, they existed at all times. And also, in future also, we all are going to be there for eternal things. So they are beginningless and endless, indestructible, the soul. So if you say you're worried about the souls of them, meaningless. You should not be worried about their souls, because they are eternal and beginningless. So that's a so the two kalas, he's not talking about present tense, because the present tense is obvious, like they're standing there, everybody is alive, so he's seeing. The present tense, he doesn't have to say. So the past tense and the future, only two he has to talk about. So he's mentioned both. The past, we there at all times. In future, we're going to be there at all times. Only two things are there. And what is birth and death? So if the souls are eternal, then what really is the birth and death? The body is jada, lifeless. The souls are eternal. So it is mentioned in Skanda Purana, says Swadeha Vyoga Vigamo Nama Janmam Mruti Pura Ishyete Hyeva Jivasya Muktir Nato Hare Kvachit. So the togetherness. So Deha Yoga is Janma and Deha Yoga is Mruti. The body and the soul coming together is the birth. The body and the soul getting separated is the death. So that's all it is. So souls are eternal. So you were worrying about the souls is meaningless. So the first option is ruled out by Paramatma, and he, there are a lot of aspects, like Brahma Sutras and everything, they convey the same thing. So we don't have to go into all that, but there's a Brahma Sutra that says, Om Asambhavastu Sato Anubhavattehe Om. That talks about the Nityatva, eternality of the soul. And then there's another one which is says, Na Atma Shutehe Nityatva Chatabhyaha Om. So these both the Brahma Sutras talk about the eternality of the soul, and that Paramatma is beginningless and he is the controller of everything. So that is conveyed there. So that is should not be the reason for Arjuna's sadness. Then if he says, okay, I'm not worried about the souls alone, my worry is about the body. Their bodies are going to be destroyed. Okay, fine. That is my worry. If Arjuna says that, I am worried about their bodies being destroyed, that is answered in the very next verse. He says, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhiraha tatra na muhyati. So, the dehi, the word that is used dehi, because, okay, we are seeing the body, we're talking about the soul is not visible. How do we know that such a thing as a soul exists at all? Maybe is a lot of charvakas, they talk about, is it possible that only the body is there, the soul like thing doesn't even exist? Is that possible? Means no, it is not, because even though we do not see the soul, notice one thing. When we are born, like small infants, then we grow up, everybody, they grow up, they become small children, then like toddlers, children, youth, and the body is so much different. Though, if you look at our small childlike body and a full grown up youth body, then old age old body, the body is going through so much of transformation, but still our experiences, we say, oh, this is my body, this is my body. That anubhava, that experience is there. Who is having that experience? The body. If you say the body has that experience, naturally the body is totally different. So the body having the experience is not possible. So body is changed completely. So something else has this experience. Oh, I am going through this. This is happening to me. So this experience is there. So that is indicated by the very word dehinaha. So dehinaha asmin. Yatha dehe, dehinaha dehe. The body of the bodied thing. The bodied is the soul. That means that which has the body is the soul. That is dehi. So dehinaha dehe. The body of the bodied. That means the soul, the body of the soul. Asmin, in this body, yatha, just like the Kaumara, Yavana, and Jara. That means the Kumara Dasha, that is Balya Dasha or small child stage, the stage of a small child, and then Yavanam, the youth, the body of the youth body, and the Jara, the old age body. All these happen, and the body is, we are not expressing our sadness. Oh, I lost my baby body. Oh, I lost my child body. Oh, I lost my youth body. Even the body, we are losing it. Every second, actually, we are losing one body and getting a new body, as if like because the cells are all forming, regenerated cells and everything. And even the looks of that, as a small baby, the way we look is very different from the way we look as a child, as a youth, and everything. And at each point of time, we do not keep on crying like, suppose as a child, oh, I lost my infant body. We don't cry. And as we're growing up, we are doing, oh, I lost my previous body. Oh, I lost my previous body. And when Kaumara to Yavana we go, oh, I lost all my Kumaratva. Like a small child body I lost, we don't cry. And then when we get old age, oh, I lost my youthful body. We don't cry. Of course, we feel, oh, my body, I am going through, the Ayush is going on and I'm becoming weaker. So that thing is there, but we don't keep on crying, oh, I lost my body. We don't keep on crying. So, and Krishna says, just as you don't cry, you don't feel sad for losing all your bodies over a period of time, your entire life, you are losing one body and getting another body. You don't cry. If that is the case, and you see that there is a soul different from the body, and that means when this body goes, it's very likely that this soul is going to get another body. So if you are not crying, you're not worried about losing your bodies like one by one, then tatha in the same way dehantara prapti dhiraha tatra namuhyati. A real wise person, dhira is like bold. The boldness comes because of wisdom. That's why the word dhira is used for both the for boldness and also for wisdom, because dhi means buddhi, ira is ichha, dhi plus ira is dhira, and dhairya is came from the word dhira only. Who has the real dhiratva or dhairya, the courage? One who is aware of things, what is what. The proper understanding is there, then automatically that gives the courage. That's why dhiratva is both wisdom and also courage. They go together. One who is wise will not have fear. The real wise person will be fearless. Only semi wisdom can give fear, but the real wisdom will take away the fear. That's why dhira tatra namuhyati. Dhira does not surrender or get the delusion. He does not submit to the delusion. So that dehantara prapti, he is aware of that. Okay, just as I do not cry over my lost bodies in one lifetime, from one body to another body, when I shift also, the body has become too old. It has become too weak. It's torn, like just as in future in Geetha, Jina Nivasamsha Yatha Vihaya. So we talk about that like as if we throw away the old clothes, we throw away this body, the old body, and then we get a fresh new body. So there's no point in crying over the body. So the first argument, crying over the souls, is meaningless. The second argument, crying over the bodies, also is meaningless. So Atmahani, not going to happen. Dehahani, not going to happen. If both Hani not going to happen, then why are you crying? Then Arjuna can say, oh, I know Atmahani does not happen, Dehahani does not happen, but Sukhahani is going to happen to me. I'm going to feel sad that I won't be able to see Bhishma and Drona anymore. So that is still there. That is going to affect me. So what about that? So that is the next question. So sukhahani dukkha prapti is bad, right? So if I'm not going to see them, that is actually getting the sadness. Dukkha prapti is going to be there, and sukha hani is going to be there. That's why I'm sad. If Arjuna says that, for that, in the next one, Krishna resolves that, as he gives a solution for that. Wait a minute. Do you think that, okay, the next verse is a very nice verse and very popular one. Matras pashastu kaunteya sitoshna sukhadukhadaha agamapayino nityah tan titikshasva bharata. So there he's talking about matra sparsha. What is matra? Matra miyante iti matra. Basically matras are vishayas for the indriyas. So like shabda, sparsha, rasa, rupa, gandha, these panchatanmatras, they called panchatanmatras. They are matras. Matras means vishayas. How do we, like our experience, everyday life, if we see our experience, we see things, if we like it, we enjoy it. Oh, it's beautiful. If we don't like, oh, we close our eyes if we don't like a scene. Same way, we taste something, if it's very tasty, we enjoy, like the taste buds, they activate and then we feel very happy, we like to eat it. But when something is not tasty, our we reject it. So same way, every indriya, the vishaya indriya sannikarsha, that is what is causing, like we get that, we connect our indriyas, sense organs, to the sense matters. So miyante means measured. So our experiences are measured. That's why they called, so mang manaiketa karmani trapate. So here miyante means measuring. What is measuring? Our happiness or sadness, it is measured by the way we receive the vishayas through our indriyas. When we connect the two, if it is pleasant to us, we enjoy it. If it's not pleasant, we don't enjoy it. So basically, it looks as if just the matra sparsha. Sparsha means contact. Here, sparshendriya is the skin only. Why the skin is talked about? Like we have drushya, what we see with our eyes, and we smell with our nose, we hear with our ears, the sound is there, and we taste with our tongue, and our touch, they are input devices. Through jnanendriyas, we receive information from outside, and the mind is the processing. Like a mind is the process. If you take a computer language, the sense organs are all like input devices. The information is outside. Through our sense organs, we receive the information into our body, and the mind processes that. If the mind doesn't process, even though the sense organs are receiving, it won't get registered. For example, you might have experienced somebody is walking in front of you, but your mind is somewhere else. You're seeing that object or the person or whatever in front of your eyes, but you won't register it. You won't capture it. You would have experienced this several ways. There are a lot of examples that you come across. So the mind has to register it, and manasashtrani indriyani pratisthani kashya. That's why it says, so the sense organs are input devices. The mind is like a processor which processes them and takes the information and registers it, and you output the action organs, karmendriyas, the pancha karmendriya, like hands, legs. We walk with our feet, we do actions with our hands, and then jananendriya is like reproductive organs, or excretory organs are there, and then we talk. The tongue does the both, is input and output. The tongue receives the taste, but it also speaking also, like tongue and the mouth together, you speak also. So we eat through our mouth and tongue, and also we speak through our mouth and tongue. So it is acting both as input and output device. So two different functionalities done by them, and the output devices, they put out the actions. So these input devices, that is like, for example, the cold, if we touch excessive cold, oh no, I don't want, or excessive heat, we don't want. So the matra sparshas kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkadaha. Sita and ushna, the excessive cold or excessive heat gives the dukkha, and the pleasant coldness and the pleasant medium cold and heat, appropriately balanced, it gives a sukha. So sukha dukkha, is it happening only because of matra sparsha? Actually, lot of people, they commented it out saying matra sparshastu kaunteya, the tukara, matra sparshas only, or sitoshna sukha dukkha. That means through the contact of the sense organs and the sense objects, the contact itself gives us the pleasure or the pain. The pain or the pleasure is caused by the contact between the sense organs and the sense objects. That alone is what gives us the pleasure or pain. It looks as if that's what the verse is telling. But Acharya and Rairu, they emphasize that there's a kakuswara. Hey Arjuna, Kaunteya, do you think that matra spashas alone are sitoshna sukha? That means they alone give the pleasure or pain through, like as if the cold and the heat are giving pleasure and pain. It looks as if like that is the case, right? If something is excessively cold, you feel, oh, not so, and excessive heat, you feel it's not the so. It looks like that, but if we go a little bit deeper, it's not exactly that, because for somebody, one man's meat is another man's poison, as this proverb says. There's somebody likes something, the same thing somebody else won't like. So that means the like and the dislike, the abhimana, that is what is makes one happy or sad. That means if we have a liking for it, then it's nice. If we don't like, oh, it's not nice. So that means it is not really matra sparsha, the contact. Matra sparsha is matra and contact with the matra. Sparsha is a contact, matra is vishayas. So the contact with the vishayas alone gives the pain and pleasure. Is it so? No, it's not. There is abhimana. Abhimana means attachment, liking, likes and dislikes that are built within us through our vasanas, whatever, like vasanamaya deha. This is all vasanamaya sharir. That means all our mental impressions have been formed in a certain way. Each one is different, and that mental impressions that we have formed within us are what are causing us that feelings. So that gandha rasa rupa sparsha shabda akhya vishayana घ्राण रस रसन चक्षुस्त्वक श्रोत्र रूप इंद्रियैः यथाक्रमं ये सन्निकषः ते मात्रा स्पर्शः. That means the 5 sense organs and the 5 sense objects correspondingly, each one, like gandha goes with the nose or granendriya, like that, each one, the indriya and the corresponding object, their contact alone, are they giving sukha dukkha? Means no, it is not. So kakuswara means, hey, do you think that is the case? No. In language, Indian language, ಅದು ಹಾಗಂತ ನೆನೆಸಿದೆಯೋ, like, ಹಾಗ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? So as if we are questioning that. So that's not the case. So what is that that's making means the abhimana, vishaya abhimana. That abhimana is what is causing abhimana. How the abhimana plays role? They are agamapaino nitya anityaha tantriksha swabha. So agamapa is anityas. That means they are not even pravaha nityatva is not there. They're completely intermittent. Abhimana is not there at all times. For example, when we are sleeping, and some nice fragrance is coming, we wouldn't even notice. We don't, it doesn't help us, like, or some nice music is playing, but we're in deep sleep. It doesn't matter how nice the music is. We don't enjoy, we don't even hear. So that means there is vishaya is there, and the indriya is there, and like it's not actually open, but it's not functioning. So the vishaya and indriya are brought together, but still they are not functioning because the mind is not registering them. So that means the abhimana, even when the mind registers the abhimana, That is what is making you happy. So basically, Arjuna, you think that these people are very dear to me and all that, and you're developing an attachment. It is your attachment that is causing you an issue. The issue is not in the matter itself, the issue is within you. If you are excessively attached in a wrong way, where you even forget about your duty, the problem is with your attachment. So the attachment you have to give up or separate and realize that this is not what is right. So when the duty is coming, you do the abhimana tyaga. That's why it says agama apayinaha. So that means agama is coming, apai is going. Agama apayina, they come and go. Come and go things, that means they're temporary. Okay, the come and go can be like in a pravaha. Suppose you take a stream of water, they come and go. The pravahataha anaditva can be, that means if you take a stream that's flowing continuously, like kala pravaha also is the pravaha they call. That means in a stream, the water particle, it goes, one particle goes in the same place, another water particle comes. That means though no particle is there at a given point of, like, given spot, the particles get replaced. So that's why that kind of a thing is called pravahataha anaditva. So this abhimana, they are pravahataha anitya, or they're really anitya. So if this question comes, he says it does not have a pravahataha also, they break, because when we are sleeping or when somebody is unconscious, there is complete cessation. Cessation means stoppage. Completely the abhimana, the sukha dukkha experience is completely stopped. That means the abhimana, they are not continuous. They are not only agama apayanaha, that means they come and go, but they do not have in pravahataha, anaditva is not there. So they anitya. So the two words are used. Anitya means not eternal. They're impermanent. They're not there at all times at all. They are intermittent. And that intermittence can sometimes have a complete breakage. It will, in case of a pravaha, there's no break at all. So, but the one kind of impermanence is there in pravaha, but another kind of permanence is there in pravaha. But in case of indriya abhimanitva, the pravaha is not, I mean, the temporariness is not like even pravaha. It is completely like a flowers, the trees, the leaves and flowers they form, then the tree gets destroyed, it is completely gone. Like that, there's a complete stoppage also is there. That means they are not at all there at all times. They can come and go. If that is the case, titiksha means do abhimana tyaga, give up your abhimana for materialistic things when a higher goal is required. A dharma sthapana karya is to be done. If your indriya abhimana comes on the way of your discharge of dharmas, then you do abhimana tyaga and stand for the dharma. That is the instruction that is being given in this verse. So three arguments are given. One is, if you are sad because of the atmahani, it is not going to happen. If you are sad because of dehahani, that is not going to happen. If you are sad because of sukhahani and dukkha prapti, even that sukhahani, dukkha prapti is dependent upon your own abhimanas. So give up your abhimana, then you will not have sukhahani and dukkha prapti will not be there. So that is your goal. Arjuna, you do that. So this is how Krishna is giving three powerful arguments which should actually alone should be sufficient for Arjuna to overcome all these sadnesses and everything. So, but as you can see, the depth of the sadness is so much that these main three instructions alone were not sufficient to resolve the mental clash, mental anguish, mental depression that Arjuna is going through, that is not completely satisfied or answered or taken care of with these three powerful instructions that Sri Krishna gave, were not good enough for Arjuna. One thing. The second thing is Arjuna is a Uttama Adhikari. He is Indra Avatara himself. That being the case, Arjuna takes, like realizes, oh, this is a golden opportunity for me to receive jnana directly from Sri Krishna Paramatma, who is standing there and imparting the jnana. So Krishna realizes, Krishna knows that all the time, and Arjuna also realizes. So if that is the case, Krishna goes on giving instructions, and Arjuna keeps on receiving the information, and he even poses some questions. Some questions he poses because of temporary setting back of, we call is tirodhana. So there is a tirodhana is reason for some of the questions. For some of the questions he asks because, not because that he doesn't know, but even though he knows, he wants reconfirmation for that reason, or for the benefit of, he knows that, this is going to be there recorded, God will take care of that, and somehow this will be imparted to the world, so let the world be benefited from that. So this may be another reason. So for those two reasons, the conversation, the entire Gita Upadesha keeps on going, and Krishna gives the instructions one after the other, and that is not only helpful, it gives the spiritual knowledge, it gives the practical day-to-day life, how we have to conduct in our lives. It gives that knowledge, and it teaches us the duty consciousness, how dharma sthapana, for the sake of dharma, how we should conduct ourselves. That is also answered, and present the war situation, how Arjuna has to conduct in this circumstance, it answers that. So it has multiple benefits. So the Gita instruction, it continues further one by one. So I give a small pause here, and if any questions are there in this, I'd like to answer those questions, and we'll continue our session in the next class. Hare Srinivasa, Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा अनुस्वभावं करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणाय समर्पयामि. Krishnaarpanamastu. If any questions are there, you can feel free to ask. Hare Srinivasa.